Okay, welcome everyone to Getting the Job 102. Before I pass it over to our speakers, I want to thank you all for joining. You may have seen Getting the Job 101. You were either with us live or you might have watched the recording. If you didn't, it will be sent out with the recording of today's session. But a little housekeeping to start off with. As I mentioned, we are recording, so we're going to ask that you stay muted for the beginning portion of the presentation. If you have any questions that you want to ask as Melissa and Anna are speaking, you can put them in the chat box and I will be happy to ask them as they come in. But at the end, we are going to stop the recording and allow for you to unmute yourself, converse with all of us, especially Missy and Anna, about any of the information you heard in 102 or 101. Ask me questions, and there'll be a little bit more interactive portion of it. So with that, Anna, I'm going to pass it over to you.
All right. Can you guys hear me? I guess that's a yes. So my name is Anna Liesch, and I am the talent acquisition specialist at Harkins Builders. And Harkins Builders is a general contractor founded in 1965. So we've been in business for almost 55 years. We have projects that we currently have right now at the moment, which are in the mid-Atlantic right now. So all the way from South Carolina to Delaware, Virginia, Maryland. We carry about 30 to 35 projects a year. We have a 96% employee retention. We have about 260 employees that are working in the field and in the office. We have offices in Maryland, Columbia, Maryland. We have one in PA, Wayne, PA, and North Carolina, Charlotte. We don't self-perform. We're a general contractor that work with all the trades that we subcontract. We, as a talent acquisition specialist, what I do is I hire people. Right, that's the simple way to explain it. I hire people. I have to do my research. I talk to a lot of schools, students. I go to career fairs, and I try to find the top talent to join our company. And then when I hire them, some of the positions that I have are project engineers. I have assistant superintendents. I have lead superintendents that will be in the field, and then in the office, I hire estimators. I hire project managers, I hire executives, and then we also have different departments, such as, like any other company, we have the IT department, the HR department, the marketing department, accounting department. So it's busy. We're continuing hiring during this pandemic. And the other thing that I do is I handled our internship program. We have between 15 and 20 interns that come every summer, and they learn about what it is to work in a construction management company. And I'm gonna now send it over to Missy.
Hi, everybody. I am Missy Hawkins. I work for Dustin Construction, who, like Harkins, is a general contractor. We primarily focus on local government work. So primarily schools, it's probably 85% of our workload, K through 12 schools. We were established in 1959, so we've been around about 62 years. We run a little bit smaller than Harkins in the sense that we probably run between 10 and 15 projects a year. We have on staff right now 63 employees. There are about 20 of us that work in the office, and then everybody else is out in the field. We do self-perform some work. So if we're going to self-perform, it's rough carpentry, so your doors, frames, hardware, roof blocking, things of that nature. Sometimes we do a little bit of concrete work. It just kind of depends on the project itself. We do have one little concrete crew that works for us, but primarily if we're going to do anything, it's going to be rough carpentry. We hire, just like Anna said, we do superintendents, project engineers, we hire accountants, HR, some admin, estimating and pre-con workers. So just like, any other company, we have those facets as well. We also have a marketing person. We are proudly able to say that we are family owned, and we are in the process of becoming 4th generation family owned. So when you look at statistics on businesses making it past the first year as a self-employed, as you increase generation, it gets less and less. So for us being ready to be a 4th generation, it's a big, something that we're very, very proud of. We have an average employee tenure of 12 years, and 25% of our employees have worked here at least 20 years or more, which is pretty incredible, considering how long we've been in business and for the work that we do. So what do? I am our HR director here. We run pretty lean, so there are a lot of things that fall under my umbrella. So primarily, I'd say my 2 top tasks are insurance, compensation and benefits, and then recruiting and hiring. And so that's why with Anna, I wanted to be a part of this presentation today to kind of help you guys understand, what we're looking for. So that way, when you go to look for work, or especially in this industry, you can understand what we're looking for and how to make yourself stand out, and what you can do to be, a part of our group and make a connection with, whether it's me or Anna or any other recruiter or somewhere else that you're looking for work. So today's topic is LinkedIn, and then we're going to talk about, our resume some more. So LinkedIn, who in the chat here, if you want to go ahead and answer, who here has a LinkedIn account or has heard of LinkedIn? Drum roll. See how many of you have it.
We're having fun here.
Yeah, a few people have an account. We know that has heard of it before. Yeah.
Perfect. So who knows when LinkedIn started? Any guesses of what year it started? How long it's been around?
Any guesses?
Okay, somebody
A
else?
decade?
More than a decade. But yes, a decade at least is accurate. So
I have a question. How many of you add your LinkedIn profile to your resume? Have you guys done that?
Well, that was a good question.
If you guys have a LinkedIn profile.
Someone said, nope, haven't done that yet.
I should raise it. I'm in the no, I haven't done it.
I know. I was like, I don't think
either. But honestly, as you know, all I do all day long is review resumes, and all of them have their LinkedIn profile. Well, a lot of them, and it's so easy to just click in there and get to know.
Everything's right there.
Yeah.
So see, this is one of those things too, as we're talking to you guys, we're still learning and talking about all these things too. So it's also good to know, kind of make you feel like we're all in the same boat here, right? So back to my question. So when did LinkedIn begin? So LinkedIn went public on May 5th, 2003. So it's been around 18 years. Fun fact, went public 9 months before Facebook did. So it's, little bit around longer than Facebook. Now, Facebook obviously is bigger, and so is your Instagram and all your other ones that are out there now. But what is LinkedIn? Just like Facebook, it's a social network, but it's focusing on professional development and networking and career development and job searching. There's 740 million members. And that was as of March 2021. So you've got 740 million members. That's people that have accounts on LinkedIn. It's available in more than 200 countries. LinkedIn is also available in 24 languages. And I wanted to kind of stress that, Joe, just because we're here in our area. So depending where you end up in the future, where you're looking for work, it is all over the place. So if you're interested at some point going and traveling and, doing a construction job, overseas or local, you could do that, and you could find this through LinkedIn. What this whole platform is designed to do is to help you make business connections. So it's taking your resume, which is your profile, and it's putting it out there for the world to see. You're going to show recruiters, you're going to show other business professionals, you're going to have your information out there. And it's going to help people find you and help you learn about different positions. Another kind of fun fact about LinkedIn, it's 40 million people use it to search for jobs per week. Like, that is insane. Like, people are on here looking for jobs. And 3 people are hired through LinkedIn every minute. The other key facet about this, it's a free service for you guys. There's different features where you can get on and you can pay, but for the most part, for you to do everything that you want to do as far as networking and showing your resume, showing your profile, you know, all of that is free. Okay. Any questions about LinkedIn and what it is? Does everybody have that basic understanding about the platform?
I mean, I do hire through LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it's not, I don't wait for resumes to come to me. Like sometimes I go into LinkedIn for looking for people. So yeah, I'm surprised that it's three people per minute. That's wild.
I will say, I mean, I've hired through LinkedIn too. We don't do as much hiring. I mean, we're kind of slow in that sense of probably maybe like a good year for us because of our size is like 5 people a year. But we have hired through LinkedIn and searched as well. So myths about LinkedIn. It's only for people looking for jobs, not for me. You know, I'm not looking for a job. I don't need to have it. You should have it. It's going to give you the pulse on what's happening in the industry that you're looking in, that you're working in. It's a way for you to be out there. It's a way for you to social network with different groups. Perfect example. There's over, what was it? I've lost my notes here. There's over 2.4 million groups on LinkedIn. So you've got from human resources to construction management, IT, you know, teaching, there's all kinds of different things. So not only are people on there looking for jobs, but it's a networking resource. It's, hey, I've had this situation. I'm looking for, you know, a good referral for, you know, training and development, or I'm looking for a good way to help, you know, my employees learn how to read blueprints, like a quick online course. So there's different things that are on there. This kind of leads into it's only for clients and not for students. Not true. One of the best things you can do as a student is to prep your resume and get your profile up. And you're going to get ahead of the game because once you're on there, you've got, you know, a good topic, a good listing, you know, you're there. It shows employers that, hey, I'm already on here. I'm serious for work. I'm responsible. I've put my profile together. I'm professional. I'm ready to be here. The next one, you don't need to network. Networking is a career insurance you can never have enough of. I cannot tell you how many hires I have made through referrals, whether it's somebody that I've known through a friend of a friend or a colleague. Perfect example, how I ended up at Dustin was through a networking event. I worked in a different industry prior to coming to Dustin. And one of my coworkers invited me to an event that they were hosting, and I met my current boss. And we got to talking about like what I did and how I was going through my master's program. And then she was like, oh, you know, it's kind of great. She's like, you know, we're actually looking for somebody to fill a role in our office because she's getting ready to retire. And we just kind of struck up a conversation. And then here I am 10 years later, working for Dustin in this great role. So it's been a great, you know, opportunity. So you never know when these kind of networking opportunities are going to start. So having this profile and getting it ready and just knowing whether you're ready for something or you're not, you can establish this relationship. So that way down the road, there's a future path there. Another myth, if I update my profile, everyone in my network will be notified. Incorrect. You have the ability, once you create your account, to set your notification preferences. So there's an edit button that you can go in and select. And so anything that you change or add, you know, you get to select who gets to see what, just like with Facebook and kind of with Instagram. You can have a public account, you can have a private account. It just kind of depends what you're looking for. You can tell recruiters that you're looking for work, or that you can say you're not looking for work. So if you wanted to say that you're actively looking and keep it on the down low, you can do that as well. I can only connect with somebody that I know. Definitely not true. You can message, you can comment on somebody's post that you see. You know, there's a great feature. It's called, you know, they have a page when you log in, and it's for you guys who've been in, and it's home, and it's basically a news feed. So anybody who's posting or putting stuff up through your connections, you can see, and you can see other public articles as well. And so if you want to comment or if you want to make a connection, you can either do what's called direct messaging, just like, you know, on your Instagram, you know, you hit up the DM, you can send a message. Hey, I saw you posted this article. I found it very fascinating, or that's really interesting. And there's a way to open a door to start a conversation, to build a connection that you may not have had before. LinkedIn is the least social program. LinkedIn is not the biggest program. As far as members go, that is true. You've got, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, they all got many, many, many more users. However, LinkedIn is a different type of social program. Like we said before, when I was kind of giving you the information of what it is, this is a professional network. You're not just going to have as many people with accounts on here as far as just to see what's going on, or hey, look what my dog does, or, look at my new selfie, or look at my awesome trip. That's not what it's used for. So it's not surprising that you're not going to have as many members, because you don't have as many people who are going to utilize it just for leisure. You know what I mean? It's almost not that it's work, but it is work. It's helping you network and staying abreast of the industry and what's happening, and trying to be a part of everything. So this is one of those where it may not be as popular, but it's definitely not the least social. It's just social in the sense of, I'm not telling you about my social life. I want to talk to you about my career life, my professional life.
Missy, I think that LinkedIn is the biggest social program when it comes to
careers,
professionally,
correct.
Right?
Correct.
Yeah,
Yep.
for careers or internships, or connections with companies, but professionally.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And then that kind of leads into I should only post content about me or the place I work at. This is a half truth. You have to remember, when you're working in LinkedIn, this is your professional brand. This is where you are just talking about yourself and what you are and what you have to offer and what you're selling to employers or to other people in your industry for what you're doing. So you definitely want to post about content about you or the place you work. But if you read an article, or if you read, something that's, there's a quote for the day and it's about motivation or something like that, you can share an informational piece and say, this came across my way today and it was really inspiring and it reminded me that, hard work pays off, or, what else you want to kind of say about it. So these types of things are okay. What you're not going to post, I don't want to see your Snapchat of the party that you were at this weekend. As a potential employer, Ann and I are both going to go, please don't show me that. It's a Tuesday night. I want to make sure you're coming to work okay. That's a big no-no. So don't do things like that.
I guess anything that you are not willing to put on your resume, I wouldn't put it on LinkedIn.
Correct. Perfect way to put it.
Yep.
And then I already have a resume, so there's no need for me to create a profile. Your resume is only going to people who you send it to. Okay. When you have your profile on LinkedIn, it's there and it gives you a way to expand upon your basic resume. So you're not just getting your job test that little one sheeter is going to give to your, potential employer. You are amplifying you're amplifying your message to a network of people that's going to highlight your talents and what you have to bring to that community. So this gives you a real chance to shine. You're able to kind of tell a story with, your work experience or your volunteer experience or things, or how you've changed it. You're going to be able to add and really kind of show, and people are going to take the time to read and go through and look. So remember, if you have a resume, that's great, but, if you're not sending it to all these different places and retailing it, this is a way for you just to kind of put everything together in one spot where you're really branding who you are and telling that story outside of just that one sheet of paper. So it's super important to really fill out your profile, and when you set your page up, to have everything filled out, detailed, oriented, and Anna's going to go a little bit more into that part for you guys.
All right. So how does it work, right? It's just as easy as creating a profile. Well, the profile is not that easy, but what I'm saying is, it's just like having your I don't know if you have a Facebook account or your Instagram account, where you have an access ID and a password. That's simple. They're going to ask you for your name and your birthday, but they're not going to ask you for more detailed information. So never answer a question where they're asking you for a social security number or personal information, because these programs are not going to ask you for those. And if they do, then please stop and kind of think am I on the right place? because nobody should be asking you for your social security number unless it's not really online, which is what we're talking about right now here. Now, so the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna Google, obviously, linkedin.com. You're gonna set up your profile by creating your access ID and your password. And we're gonna start by choosing, the first thing is to add your picture. And if you attended the last class that we taught about a month ago, we talk a lot about resume and how it's not okay to add your picture on your resume. And especially having a picture that doesn't look professional, right? So having selfies, having a group picture with different people on a party or like having fun, this is not the place for it. That will be the place for your Instagram account or your Snapchat account. This is, again, and we might be repeating ourselves, but it's a professional setup, right? So you have to have a picture where you look professional and it's only you and it's one shot, just your face. You don't have to show your entire body. You can show half of your body. If you're gonna show your entire body, it's just gonna look really small on the screen. So I would suggest just having like a halfway, like mid picture. And if you have somebody that you know that is somebody takes very nice pictures, just have them take a good picture of you, and that's the picture you could use, again, in your LinkedIn account, not on your resume.
And to kind of tag onto you too with that, Anna, too, like if you've got an iPhone now, most of them have like the portrait mode on the camera, so you can, if you get a nice top and just have somebody take your picture, you can get a really nice shot with your cell phone nowadays.
I mean, and that's pretty much a selfie, but you have to just you can do a professional selfie if you select the right modes on your camera. Absolutely. I mean, now these days you can do anything with your cell phone. You don't have to pay a professional photographer to get a picture for you for your LinkedIn profile. Absolutely not. And then it's when you open LinkedIn and you create your access ID and password and you upload your picture, it's gonna, the same program is gonna guide you as to what's next, and it will tell you you're missing something. So it's really no brainer when you're completing your profile. But what I will suggest is don't start working on your profile and then stop midway and then save it, and then not put in the right settings when people can see it and it's not really completely done. So make sure that you take some time that you're gonna be focusing on working in your profile, where you can finish the profile and then you can post your information. Otherwise, it's just you could forget to complete it. And if you have missing information on your profile, it's going to be very hard for somebody to get to know the person that you are. And I'm talking about highlighting your skills. I have seen so many LinkedIn profiles that the skills are not even mentioned. And you may say, well, I mean, I have skills, but why do I have to tell them what skills do I have? Well, because a lot of people like myself that are recruiters and are looking for people, we search based on skills. So sometimes I said, I need to have an intern that is passionate about construction. So how am I going to search when there's like, how many people we said that are joined in LinkedIn? 200 million the last 2 years. I mean, it's ridiculous, right? So it's going to be very hard. So I have my setups where I can put the skills that I'm looking for, and it's going to give me a list of people, especially if I list years of experience, or if I list a location. So I can make it even as close as a county. And that will obviously, my search will be more detailed and easier for me to be able to take a look at those profiles. But if your profile is not completed, I will know right away. So I'm gonna just ignore it, right? So just be very careful that to take your time to complete your profile. Make the most of other profiles. So before you start your profile, it is okay to create your account and then just start just searching, start looking around, look at other people. Maybe you like soccer. You know what? Type soccer and a lot of things are going to come up, especially companies. So you can start connecting with other companies, connecting with events that are happening that you didn't even know existed, opportunities for an internship. I mean, just so many things. You can, it could be by a hobby that you have, it could be by a skill that you have, by a passion that you have, that you're just, maybe you want to learn about something, but you're not sure how to learn about it. Perhaps you don't know what you want to study when you go into college, and you are just wondering, well, maybe I want to be a child psychology, right? How do I know if that's what I would like to do? If you search and you write child psychology, they're going to give you a list of profiles that are going to share what they do in their day-to-day work life, right? So it will give you an idea as to, is that what I want to do? So you can use LinkedIn for so many different reasons, and it will really help you, not just right now, but in the future, as you continue building that profile, right? Because that profile is going to be changing. It's not like one time only, I build it and I forget about it. As soon as you have a new skill, as soon as you have a new certification, and every so often you might want to go and connect with other companies, always update your profile. And that's how you're going to build the connections, by looking at other companies and other people. And please, this is not like Facebook where I'm going to only connect with people that I know, right? This is I'm going to connect with people that are going to be, they're going to help me in, not just in my career, but in my knowledge and my research. And it is okay to have a connection, because, hey, if I connect with this company, I will know all their events and everything that they're changing and doing and all the news, and I will be able to stay up to date. It's almost like if you're listening to the news sometimes, but you're listening to the news that you want to hear, because you decide to follow those companies. Missy, you have something to say?
No, I just was going to kind of piggyback off of that, but with the news, like, you get to see things that companies are excited about. Like, we share events like this that you might not see just on our webpage. You're going to see, exciting things where if we had like an anniversary or something else comes up. So it gives you kind of some insider information too, when you follow different companies and different organizations.
Yeah. So, now remember, your profile is the most visible representation of you. So as soon as you type something up there, whomever is connecting with you is going to see it. And also people that you're not connected with as well. So that's another difference with Facebook, right? And I'm talking a lot about Facebook because that's what I use normally. But with Facebook, only the people that you're friends with, they can see, right? See you if you put the right settings. But as a recruiter, when I search for somebody, that profile is going to show up. And you won't be able to say, well, I want this person to see my skills and I want this other person to see my summary. No, it's all or nothing. So just be very, very careful that as soon as your information is out, unless you close your account, you can take it back. Okay. So look at that. Remember, we keep talking about the picture. This is Missy right here. So she has a selfie, which is really cool. It's a very nice selfie, but I mean, she's hiking. Or where were you, Missy?
I was hiking. We were hiking.
Hiking? Okay, I just assumed that. You were hiking. So even though that's a nice picture that I would like to see in like Instagram and be like, hey, she went hiking. That's great. That's not a picture I want to see if I'm looking to hire you, to be honest. It doesn't, right? So that if you
you got my sunglasses on too. You don't even see
I didn't even see you.
I got my sunglasses on, all that good stuff. So,
and then you have the other picture on the other side, and it's simple and professional. It doesn't have like hat and big earrings and a lot of necklace hanging. It's just very simple because you're trying to represent the person that you really are. And in a very simple, what you're wearing, and it's just going to be a distraction of who you really are. So the best way is just to have something simple and and just, you don't, and again, please do not pay for a professional photographer to do a picture like this, which Missy, I'm sure it looks very professional.
Oh, this one was done. They did these in the fall. So this was all through the company.
Yeah.
High school students, senior pictures come. You know, you get your senior pictures done. That's a perfect example to use, you know, depending, you know, some of your shots, whether it's maybe not necessarily one with your cap on, but if you've got like the row or you've got your suit on, you know, that's a perfect one to use. You know, you get your face, you can separate it. But another good example of a photo that you could use for your profile picture.
Absolutely. Do we have any questions as of right now? Anybody has a question, comment? You want to put it in the chat right now?
No questions or comments.
No? So what I would like to do, guys, is to stop sharing my screen, and I want to share my LinkedIn profile. All right, so let's do that. Let me find it, and then let me know if you can see it. Right, you see that?
We see it.
All right, so that's my picture, and again, it's just my face. I didn't even want to show my entire body. It's not that big, so when you have a picture of your entire body, I can barely see your face. So
like an ant, basically. It's not that it's minuscule.
So the picture that you have, Missy, I think that's perfect too. You know, like half of your body. I think that's perfect too. And you can crop it, you know, that is just really just your face. As you can see right here, I have, even the system is telling me, hey, you can show your pronouns if you want to add that to your title. You know, now these days, a lot of people are showing the she, hers, she and hers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's perfectly fine. You can add anything you want under your name. Now, if you see this is my name, and then I wanted to add these letters back after my name, because people that are in the HR world, they know what that means. And that means that I took an HR certification that was very hard to get, and I'm proud of, that actually allows you to add those letters behind your name. Almost like if you were to do a master's or like a PhD, or if you are like sometimes you don't put it next to your name, but you put it underneath, like if you're a soccer coach, or if you are, you can also put your name, Anna Liesch, and then put at the bottom student, right? So people know that you're currently a student, or college grad, or you don't have to put anything under your name. One of the things that the system is gonna guide you to do, you click on the camera, it's very simple, and you upload your picture right here, right? And your picture, you probably already have it on your laptop. Now, I will say you can do this on a cell phone. That shouldn't be a problem, but I will encourage you to do it on a laptop, just because you have more opportunity to play with the information that you have. And it will be easier for you to add the information as you're building your profile.
That, and you're able to make sure that your grammar is correct. You know, you're able to proofread a lot other. You've got more manageable using the keyboard and things like that. So with Anna, I second that. When you're building your profile, it's best to do it from the computer.
And you know what? I will say, before you are ready to post your profile, I will share it with somebody else, just to give you an idea as to proofread your grammar, and to make sure that it looks okay. It's not that we're doubting that you're gonna do a good job. It's just that as a second pair of eyes is always helpful. Mm-hmm. Obviously, you're not gonna share and tell them, hey, this is my access ID and password, right? You are going to invite them and be next to you as they're checking the profile with you. Then you have the opportunity right here to put the state where you are, including the city. This will help people like myself and Missy when we're recruiting, that we can actually search based on even the city. It doesn't even have to be just the state, but the city. Will be important. If you don't put in there that you're from Ellicott City, for example, like myself, I'm never gonna find anyone. Your name is not gonna come up under Ellicott City. So you wanna be careful. You don't have to put your address, please. Do not put your home address. We're just talking about city and state. And if you're even uncomfortable with that, it can be just the state, and that's okay. That's your contact information. Now, many people will have their email and a phone number. Now, when I search for this, when I'm hiring people, whether it's an internship or a full-time position, I use this email that I have in here. So make sure that is the correct one when you post your profile. But I also message them, and you have the opportunity to message that person directly, and then you obviously have to wait to see if that person accepts your message. It's not like, again, like Facebook or Instagram, that you send a message and it goes and that person will see it. The message is gonna go, and then it's gonna wait until the other person accepts the message. So be careful what you write on the subject of your message, so it gives them an idea what's about, so they open that message, your message. Now, you see over here on the right, I have the places where I work, and then I also follow this school, which is where I graduated from college in Mexico, because I want to know what's happening. I want to know, there's so many students, people that already graduated that I have connections with. So I follow my school, and I would suggest for you to follow your school, absolutely. So you can keep a good relation with your alumni and just build connections and relationships. You never know who is the person that is gonna help you get the best job out there that is for you, waiting for you. Now, there's right here a section where you can add an opportunity to say, I'm open to work, or you can change it to say, I'm not open to work, okay? Now, this will give recruiters an opportunity to know if this person is willing to talk to somebody about an opportunity. If you don't have open to work, it's not really a big deal, but maybe a recruiter will skip your profile because we are gonna assume that you're not looking to have a conversation for another opportunity.
Or if we're filtering just to look by those,
Oh, sometimes, yeah, you can filter just by, let me look at the people that are looking for a position. Now, keep in mind, and Missy mentioned this, is you don't have to have a LinkedIn profile just because you're looking for a job, okay? I'm just telling you how to build your profile. Even the open for work includes internships. So many of you are looking for those. So that will be good to have in there. Then you're gonna have your dashboard, and that's what the system does for you. It just gives you this information where you can see how many people view my profile in today or in the last week, how many people saw the last post that I saw, and how many people search my name. And then you can manage your network right here. That's when you start building your connections. You search for the company you're looking for, you search for the person you're looking for, or you can search just by titles or hobbies or skills. At the bottom, it comes about, tell me all about you. Now, and look at this. It's very easy. You just type it right here and you save it. And we'll just show in there, right there. This is about you. And the reason why you see the information about Harkins is because I'm using LinkedIn to recruit candidates. So I have to put the information about the company that I work for. For you, my suggestion will be to write something about yourself. And again, be very careful what you're gonna share. It has to be short and sweet. In other words, just your name, what you're looking to do, what are your hobbies, and it's almost like you're trying to introduce yourself to the world. Like, what would you like anyone to know about yourself? And again, nothing personal, and keep it professional, in my opinion. Then you can see you're going to experience. And again, you don't have to have experience. You can leave this blank. But I would suggest to add every time you took, you did an internship, or you were in one of those special classes in school. Maybe you took an apprenticeship program. Maybe you were in Lead the Way, anything to do with STEM projects, perhaps. Anything that you have done in the past, you can put them in here. In fact, some people have put summer jobs where you maybe were somebody that was painting houses, or somebody was a host. That's okay. You put it in there because it shows that you have done something, and you start building your experience and your profile. These are all the jobs that I had in the past, and it tells you, and then you can click on the job and it will bring you to that company. So you can learn about that company. That's the education you want to put in here, whether you're in high school or in college. And that's, again, you just add it with the pencil.
Question, Anna, for you. If a student has participated in ACE Mentor or another STEM extracurricular, would you suggest they put that in the work experience section?
I think that's extremely important. Extremely, it just shows dedication. It shows that they want to get better. And especially in a mentorship program, it's not easy to mentor people and to be mentor. So when you have somebody that, like, for example, if I were to be a mentor, I will be writing in here that I'm a mentor, because I will be very excited. It's an important part of my skills. Now, for the mentee, the person that has a mentor, it provides an opportunity for the world to see that you're willing to be working with somebody to be better and to grow. And a lot of people are not willing to be mentor.
Yeah, any students on here, you also completed a big project, right? So in your classes or projects in ACE, though, that's information that shows your experience, especially in the construction industry. So make sure you do that as well.
And that, especially if you already know you want to be in the construction industry, anything that you have done, whether it was a small project and I built a chest out of wood, every activity that you have done, it shows that you are learning new skills and you're adding skills. And that's the next step that I would like to cover, is adding your skills. So you can, and again, if you don't know which skills you want to add, you can search for a skill. Okay, so you can add a new skill and it gives you some ideas. It doesn't mean that these are the only ones that you have to add. The reason why they are suggesting these skills for me is because in my title I put that I'm an HR specialist. But if you don't put anything, you will get a lot of ideas in here, and you can again search, right? Carpentry, trades. You can just write trades and you're gonna get a bunch of ideas and choose. Now I think you have up to 4 or 5 that you can add. So choose wisely which ones you want to have in your profile.
So Anna, I want to jump in real quick because I know we want to get through the rest of our slides because we're getting a little short on time. But basically, just to kind of wrap up what we're saying here is that this will prompt you to walk through the steps and what you have to add and what you need to add. And if you have any questions, we're going to give Kim our contact information, and she'll be able to share that with you guys. So that way you can, you guys can ask us and we can kind of help give you some guidance and things like that as far as what to do. But it's pretty self-explanatory. You know, we've got a couple more things to go through here. You know, a couple of the slides were how is, LinkedIn different from Facebook? Basically, again, that's just the whole message that we're trying to drive home is that, Facebook is your personal life, your private, your social. LinkedIn is that professional thing. You're definitely just going to want to put on there, your LinkedIn, you're not going to have your Facebook, you're not going to probably put your boss on, you're not going to put, on LinkedIn, you're not going to put your fun party pictures, things like that. You're going to keep it professional because you're building your brand. So that's just the thing, you know, and then again, do's and don'ts of LinkedIn, make sure you've got proper grammar, make sure you've got a professional shot, don't use filters. You know, you want to make it colleagues, you know, professional relationships, you know, put your employers that you've had on, use a professional email address. You know, you don't want to use the puppy love XOXO, just make sure it's something professional, and make sure your contact information that you want to have is accurate, correct, and relevant, and that you check it. You know what I mean? So just make sure you're paying attention to those sort of things. And then we wanted to go over, you know, some of the things, you know, we talked about build your network, but I want to get to the resume portion so we can kind of go over that again real quick and just kind of give you some examples. So resume writing, make sure that, you know, this is from our last presentation. If you didn't have a chance to watch it, you can go back and get it on record. But just make sure you've got easy to read font, you include all of your contact information. We cannot stress that enough. You know, accurate phone number. If you have a phone number, make sure your voicemail is set up so we can leave you a message. If I can't leave you a message, I'm not going to call you back. Write your resume based off the position you're applying for. So make sure you match the skills that are listed in that resume. No picture on the resume, picture on LinkedIn. Yes. Resume, no. Resume, you want to keep it reverse chronological order. So give me your most current position or activities followed by the stuff that was in your past. And then include your education, the name of your school you attended. Make sure it's, you know, error-free. Don't include your hobbies, you know, volunteer experience. Yes. Or things that you've participated in as far as entrepreneurship. Sure. That's great. But don't just be like, you know, I like to do puzzles or hike in nature. Nothing like that. That's not relevant to what we're doing for, as far as, you know, what's your skill set and your what you're selling as far as your brand and what we're trying to get the message across to help you get a job or an internship. So,
and to piggyback on that, please don't use color paper. Like I get these like super bright papers thinking that it's supposed to caught my attention, and it did caught my attention for the wrong reasons. So please don't use like big fonts and little fonts, and it just keep it simple and professional.
So resumes, here's one we have.
Okay, here we go.
So here's a sample real quick, right off the bat. What's on here that we're telling you not to do? Picture, right? So you've got your picture that's there.
Is somebody answering here? Somebody?
Yeah, Muhammad just put up, he said.
Yeah, he guessed it, the picture.
Yeah. Oh, the picture. Yeah. Yep.
So go ahead and flip, since we're short on time, we'll kind of go through this real quick. So just some of the negatives. You know, the photo, there's some spelling and grammatical errors. The spacing on it's a little wonky. So you've got some things that aren't quite set up right. The dates of experience are kind of out of order, if you see that. But there are some good things. You know, you've got complete contact information, the school's listed, he's got work experience listed, and he's got some awards and recognition. So, you know, you've got that. So it's good to have. So you see there, even though it's not necessarily maybe the best one, but there are some experiences there. All right, next
sample. Look at the next one. Okay.
Yeah.
What are you guys seeing here? And I know it's short time, but
yeah, just a real quick in the chat, like of the two resumes, which one is more visually appealing and looks more professional right off the bat?
Which one is easier to read too, right?
Yeah.
For the recruiter, what's gonna be easy for me to look at what's really important?
People are saying the second one.
Exactly. Yep. So for this one, positives, you've got your complete contact information, relevant and volunteer experience, relevant coursework, it's error-free, the spacing, appearance, awards, recognition, it's great. Now, is it perfect? No, there's a couple other things that are on there. The awards and achievement are not in reverse chronological order. They didn't have an objective. But at the same time, this could be, you know, one of our high school kids, it's like maybe you're applying for a summer job, you know what I mean? So if you're applying for a job, you know, whether it's for like as a construction laborer or something else, you know, this is perfect. You know what I mean? This would be a perfect sample that you could use, you know, for your first job or first level, you know, things like that. And that's where a cover letter too, if you're going to submit, you could do a cover letter. Hi, you know, Miss Anna, I saw your resume, your internship opening, you know, at Harkins, and you know, I have X, Y, and Z. I'm really interested. I found you, you know, on LinkedIn, and I would like to opportunity to apply. You can have all that kind of stuff included in there. So this is a great
and as you
start.
can see, I'm sorry to piggyback in here, but I always see that we have in the negative that we don't have an objective at the top of the resume. For a recruiter, it's going to be so easy if you tell us what you're looking for. Imagine if at the top you were to tell me, I am looking for an internship for the summer of 2021 in the construction industry. Then I already know what you're looking for. Instead of me trying to, well, do I call this person? Do I wait? It just makes it easy for us.
Yep. And then we did have another sample. Let me see if it'll let me share.
You have it here. Let me stop sharing. If it will let me. Why is not letting?
Got it. Hold on. Can you guys see my screen now?
Yes.
Perfect. So we had a student send in a sample of their resume, and one of the things, you know, we did take out contact information to keep the anonymity there, but you can see the name was here, contact information was here, perfect, right up top. Again, the only recommendation that I really had for it was that, you know, what are we looking for? So that objective, you know, are you looking for an internship? Are you looking for an entry-level position? One of the things I really liked here was, you know, you've got your skills, so you visual art design, music, you know, the different things, especially with the software, Adobe Creative Suite, Procreate, Maya, GarageBand, like all this kind of stuff. Like I know for us, we use a lot of Adobe products, you know, as far as like marketing and even into our pre-construction department, as far as like writing proposals. So seeing a student or even an intern that has this is a big, you know, kind of exciting thing for us. Got the graduate, you know, down here, if I'm going to kind of jump down to education, graduate of Oakland Mills High School in Howard County, GPA included. Awesome. Be proud of that GPA. Look how well that is. So definite high five as far as including your GPA in that, you know, you want to show that off because it shows how hard you work. You've got great studying. Again, too, with the awards, ARL Student of the Month for, you know, when February.
That's
Also included. It shows again that you're hardworking, you're reliable, you know, be proud of these things that you accomplish and do. Anna, you want to kind of comment on here as well?
Yeah, the only thing I want to say, two things. One is, as soon as I saw your GPA, that caught my attention. So it's very, very important. I agree with Missy that you need to have that GPA. If you're proud of it, then you should add it. The other thing is, I see that you have, we have three activities that this person has done in the past. And if you see the last one is from 2018. So I will change it to the top and leave the 2000, hold on.
So put for youth up top and then.
No, that's fine. It ended in 2019. So no, you're fine in there. You did it reverse the chronological reverse order. So that's really good. I think this is great. This is wonderful. I will probably move the education to the top before the experience. That's the only thing that I will do.
So this is a great one. So very well done to the student who submitted this one. Does anybody else have any questions about resumes or anything they'd like to share? I know we're getting kind of tight here. Ann and I like to get a little long-winded. We get passionate about these things.
Oh, you know what? I see what I was trying to say. The 2019, I think it should be moved to the top, and then 2018 to present at the bottom. And that's just because it's the beginning of when you start your activity, regardless if you're still there or if you already finished. Just to keep it consistent. But this is a really good resume, in my opinion.